إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا من يهد له فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده رب لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلوات الله وسلامه عليه. أما بعد يا معشر المسلمين, as we come to a benefit بإذن ta'ala, we want to remind ourselves with a tremendous reminder. We want to benefit ourselves and to remind ourselves, يا أيها الإخوة, الإيمان بيوم القيامة, to believe in the last day. And this is imperative. These are the pillars of Iman. This is that which the Muslim is required to believe in. This is that which the Muslim he follows and upholds. This is what the Muslim he implements these requirements and these commandments, and it is imperative, it is obligatory to have the correct belief in that which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has prescribed in His book. It is a must that we obey the commandments of Allah Azza wa Jalla, and we have the correct belief in regards to these pillars. And we have been instructed to adhere to the commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. قال الله عز وجل في كتابه الكريم: كتاب أنزل إليك فلا يكون في صدرك الحرج منه لتنذر به والذكرى للمؤمنين اتبعوا ما أنزل إليكم من ربكم ولا تتبعوا من دونه أولياء قليلا ما تذكرون. Allah Azza wa Jalla, He mentions, this is the book, the Quran, sit down unto you. So let not your breast be narrow therefrom, that you warn thereby, and a reminder unto the believers. Follow what has been sent down unto you from your Lord, and follow not awliya, follow not any protectors, anyone besides Allah Azza wa Jalla. Little do you remember. Kitabun unzila ilayka, yani this is a book, the Quran, sent down unto you from your Lord. Naam ya ayyuhan nas, litunzira bihi, so that you may warn thereby. Meaning we sent down this Quran so you may warn the disbelievers with it. With dhikra lil mu'mineen, and remind unto the believers, and you remind the believers. Allah then said to the world, ittabi'u ma unzila ilaykum min rabbikum. He said to mankind, follow what has been revealed, follow what has been sent down to your Lord, meaning follow and imitate the unlettered Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, who brought you a book that was revealed for you from your Lord and Master of everything. وَلَا تَتَّبِعُوا مِن دُونِهِ أَوْلِيَاءَ, and follow not anyone besides Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Meaning, do not disregard what the messenger brought you and follow something other than that. Do not disregard what the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam brought to you and follow something else. For in this case, you will be deviating from Allah's judgment to the decision of someone else. وَإِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ قَلِيلًا مَا تَذَكَّرُونَ. Little do you remember. So we want to remind ourselves with the commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. اتَّبِعُوا مَا أُنزِلَ إِلَيْكُم مِّن رَبِّكُمْ, and follow that which has been revealed from your Lord Jalla wa Ala. The Kitab, the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the Sunnah of the Messenger of Allah alayhi salatu wassalam. So we want to bring about some benefit bi'idhnillahi kareem with regards to this affair of al-yawm al-qiyamah, because it is for sure, it is certain that this will take place, that the Muslim, we have certainty in this affair. Al-iman wa yawm al-qiyamah, وهو يوم القيامة يسمى يوم الآخر لأنه بعد الدنيا ويسمى يوم القيامة ويسمى يوم القيامة لقيام الناس فيه من قبورهم لرب العالمين, as it is explained by Shaykh Fawzan Hafidahullah Ta'ala. He mentioned the belief in the last day, that is the day of Qiyamah. It is called the last day because it is at the end of the world, and the day of Qiyamah because of the standing up of people on it from their graves unto the Lord of the worlds, unto the Lord that exists. ويسمى يوم البعث لأن الناس يبعثون فيه من قبورهم ويسمى ونشورهم وماذا وبعث فله أسماء كثير بما يدل على عظيمته. So he mentions حفظه الله تعالى, he mentions it is referred to as the day of Ba'ath, the day of resurrection, because people will be resurrected on it from their graves. And it is also called the day of An-Nushur. And An-Nushur, it means Ba'ath. It has many names, which is from what points to its greatness. The belief in the day is affirmed to believe in the last day. وَإِيمَانُ بِيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ هو تصديق بحصوله ووقوعه. He mentions that to believe in the last day, it is affirmed that it will happen. It is to affirm that it will happen. والإيمان بالآخر الإيمان باليوم الآخر هو تصديق بحصوله ووقوعه. Thus it does not suffice that one accepts and affirms it, and affirms its occurrence. One must prepare for it. That one must prepare for it. ثم then put forward good deeds. Then the person, he prepares for this enormous day by performing good deeds and repenting from evil deeds. ثم استعد له فلا يكفي أن تصديق به. It is not sufficient for the person to just affirm that this will take place, but rather it is a must that the person prepares for it by putting forth good deeds and repenting from evil deeds and engage in a great deal of virtuous deeds. Then you are preparing for this great day, a day regarding which there is no doubt, as the supplication of Ibrahim alayhi salam, where he mentions in the Quran in Surah Ashura, وَلَا تُخْزِنِي يَوْمَ يُبْعَثُونَ يَوْمَ لَا يَنْفَعُ مَالٌ وَلَا بَنُونَ إِلَّا مَنْ أَتَى اللَّهَ بِقَلْبٍ سَلِيمٍ. And disgrace me not on a day when all the creatures will be resurrected, the day whereon neither wealth nor sons will avail except him who brings to Allah a clean heart, except for the person who brings a clean heart to Allah Azza wa Jalla. Naam ya ayyuhan nas. So it is indeed a great day. فهو يوم العظيم يوم يغفر مرء من أخيه وأمه وأبيه وصاحبته وبنيه بكل امرئ منهم يومئذ شأن يغنيه. The day shall a man flee from his brother and from his mother and his father and from his wife and his children. Every man that day will have enough to make him careless of others. وقال جل وعلا وفي هذه اليوم وقال جل وعلا يبصرونهم يود المجرم لو يفتدي من عذاب يومئذ ببنيه وصاحبته وأخيه وفصيلته التي تؤويه وَمَنْ فِي الْأَرْضِ جَمِيعًا ثُمَّ يُنْجِي كَلَّا. Allah Azza wa Jalla, He mentions, though they shall be made to see one another, وَفِي هَذَا الْيَوْمِ, and on that day, though they shall be made to see one another, the mujrim, the sinful, would desire to ransom himself from the punishment of Allah Azza wa Jalla on that day by his children and his wife and his brother and his kindred who sheltered him, and all that are in the earth, and all that are on the earth, so that it might save him, but by no means. Kalla. So he will be saved from his, so he will not be saved from this by performing good deeds and abstaining from evil deeds. So he will not be saved from this except by performing good deeds and abstaining from evil deeds. نعم فلا ينجي من هذا إلا عمل من هذا إلى العمل الصالح وتركوا عمل السيء وتركوا ماذا العمل السيء. He will not be saved from this except by good deeds and abstaining from evil deeds, as the shaykh hafidahullah ta'ala, he mentions. نعم يا أيها الناس, this is what is intended. هذا هو مقصود بإيمان اليوم الآخر. فمن قال إنه ليس هناك بعث إيمان هي حياة الدنيا فقط فهذا كافر لأنه مكذب لله ورسوله. So he mentioned hafidahullah, this is what is intended by belief in the last day. Anyone who says there is no resurrection, is all about this dunya, is all about this life, such as a kafir, because he belies Allah and His Messenger, and the consensus. Na'am, he belies Allah and His Messenger and the consensus of the Muslims. هذا هو مقصود بإيمان اليوم الآخر. فمن قال إنه ليس هناك بعث وإيمان هي الحياة الدنيا فقط فهذا الكافر لأنه مكذب لله ولرسوله وإجماع للمسلمين. As we mentioned, this is what is intended by the belief of the last day, and anyone who says there is no resurrection is all about this worldly life, such as a kafir, because he belies Allah and His Messenger and the consensus of the Muslims, and that which is known in the deen by necessity. Thus there is no doubt, there is no doubting the disbelief of the one who rejects resurrection and rising from the dirt and rising from the death. Hence Allah Azza wa Jalla, He mentions, زعم الذين كفروا أن لن يبعثوا قل بلى وربي لا تبعثون ثم لتنبعون بما عملتم وذلك على الله يسير. Allah, He mentions in Surah At-Taghabun that disbelievers pretend that they will never be resurrected for account. Say, O Muhammad alayhi salatu wassalam, yes, by my Lord, you will certainly be resurrected. Then you will be informed and recompense for what you did, and that is easy for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Naam ya ayyuhan nas. So individuals such as the disbelievers, they believe that they won't be resurrected, that there's no resurrection, that there won't be any accountability, that they only live for this dunya, they only live for this worldly life. They party and drink and fornicate and do everything that is haram, and they expect to get something good out of that. At the end of all of that, they expect to go to Jannah wala hisab. They believe that there's no accountability, or they believe that there's no resurrection. They believe that there's no rising from death, there's no resurrection. فوالله أمر رسوله أن يقسم بربه أنه سيبعث عبادته. وقوله زعموا وهو كذبوا، يعني كذبوا في كذبوا, يعني he pretends or he lies. As it is mentioned, or yani Allah Azza wa Jalla ordered his messenger to swear by his Lord that he will raise his creatures. Is saying yani za'am. Za'am, it means falsehood. That is, they have lied in this saying of theirs. And he, Allah Azza wa Jalla, he says, وقالوا إن هي حياتنا الدنيا وما نحن بمبعوثين. And they said there is no other life but our present life of this world, and never shall we be resurrected on a day of resurrection. So this affair of believing in the last day, the Muslim, we hold that this is true, that we must believe in this and prepare for this. As the disbelievers, they don't prepare for that because they don't believe in that. They don't believe that it is going to happen. وقال جل وعلا في كتابه الكريم وقالوا ما هي إلا حياتنا الدنيا نموت ونحيا وما بعوثين وما وقالوا ما هي إلا حياتنا الدنيا نموت ونحيا وما يهلكون إلا الدهر. And they say there's nothing but our life of this world. We die and we live, or we die and we live, and nothing destroys us except ad-dahr. Nothing destroys us except the time. Then he mentions Allah Azza wa Jalla, he says وقال أيعدكم أنكم إذا متم وكنتم ترابا وعظاما أنكم مخرجون هيهات لما توعدون إن هي إلا حياتنا الدنيا نموت ونحيا وما نحن بمبعوثين. Does he promise you, does he promise you that when you have died and have become dust and bones, you shall come out alive, resurrected? Far, very far is it that which you are promised. There is nothing but our life of this world. We die and we live, and we are not going to be resurrected. See, this is the way how they think. So they don't see any problems with partying and drinking and clubbing and doing all of these particular things. They believe that you gotta live your life now, live your Jannah, indulging in all kinds of haram, live it up to the fullest, as they say. نعم يا أيها الناس هكذا, that is the way of the speech of the kuffar. وهكذا مقال له kuffar, that is the speech of the kuffar, old and present. They reject the resurrection and have no evidence at all except that they say, how will people who have died and turned to soil be brought back to life? This is impossible, as they believe. وَعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ. So this is what we want to